Hello and welcome to the Queber channel. I'm Jason, your host. There is something going on in the world, and I want to state right at the start, I am not a racist, I am not against Islam, I am not against people who follow Islam, just like I'm not against Russians. But I want to introduce a term to you, it's called subversion. And it was used by Russia and still used by Russia. It's a statecraft and it's a way of influencing to subvert foreign powers. Now, this was the reason that there was the big thing against the communists in America and so on. Because Russia is very intelligent when it comes to these things. Why try to militarily overthrow a region, a country, when you can subvert it, when you can change the narrative? And you see this a lot in the way things were set up. The way Russians of a certain age view the West. There was a lot of Russians in the 70s, 80s and 90s. Remember, these people had no access to the Western freedom of speech and all that kind of thing. They believed that places like New York were fake cities. Fake cities set up so that when Russians visited them, they'd see this amazing, wonderful life that they could have in the West. And they taught these beliefs to their citizens. And there's an entire generation of people in Russia who actively believe that the West is worse off than Russia, that America is worse off in many ways. And let's not go into capitalism and all that kind of thing, but this idea. And so a lot of the focus of the KGB and that wasn't assassination, it wasn't destruction, it was subversion. Take control from the inside. They tried it with Trump even, but Trump's a wild card. You can see it in a lot of things. So why am I talking about that when I'm talking about Islam and Muslim? Because it is a standard thing that Muslims believe in the caliphate. Turning the entire world into a Muslim state. That is their goal. That is part of their teaching. That is not a conspiracy theory. This is part. You listen to them, as we've said. Don't listen to me, but with an analytical brain, watch their own podcast. Watch their own announcements by the Muslim countries in there. And the threat is even worse now than it was early on, because we apologise for Muslims. We have enacted laws that say that you're much more likely to be charged with a hate crime if you say something bad about Muslim religion or the Islam teachings than you would if you said the same things against Christianity. Or the same things as a agnostic, or the same thing as a pagan. This is subversion. This is altering the state, altering the country, altering the world to make it more possible for the caliphate, the Islam state, to become a reality. Now, there's a great saying. So we say, oh, but this person's a moderate. This person's just a normal Muslim. and this person's an extremist. But this is the saying. And let me get this straight here now in my head. The extremists are the snakes inside the grass of Islam, hiding in the grass of Islam. The moderates are the grass hiding the snakes. And this is the problem. Their entire religion is based on the idea of taking over and turning the entire world into. And if you don't follow, if you don't become, if you don't sign up for the religion, if you don't drink the Kool-Aid, if you don't go down the route, then you are a non-person. You are someone who can be beheaded, can be stoned. And a lot of people don't realise how bad that would be for if the caliphate came into being and took over the entire world. If we all became Muslim, then unfortunately, your right to protest. There's a reason why Just Stop Oil doesn't go to the Middle East, to the actual oil countries, because they'd be in jail within seconds, and it would not be fun. There's a reason why women are happy to bash on men in the West, in America, in the UK, and they have a right to do that. Oh, you'd have one hell of a wake-up call. I mean a real wake-up call, which would probably include either rape, death, or worse. Yes, worse. So, this is the thing. Then how do you fight? Because it's what's called asymmetric warfare. And at the moment, they're winning. The Muslims are winning. Why? Well, they gained back Afghanistan. They've got Afghanistan, Syria, Iran, all that area there they've already got. And pretty much every country they become involved with, they start to win the populace. And this is a very bad thing. You have to be aware of it. And we see this a lot in the attacks on Israel. Everybody gives Palestine a free pass. Everybody gives the Muslims a free pass. The hatred is completely on the Israel people. That's subversion. If you mention the attack where the 7th of October, if you talk to anybody who follows, they will just spout off all this bullshit that they've been given. There's no analytical thinking. There's no critical thinking. There's no objective reasoning. They've totally swollen and drank and eaten the Kool-Aid, and it's gone down and it's made, and they're just sheep. It is something you need to be aware of. Now, in no way am I justifying. This is how it should go. This is how it has to go. And this is how America and other countries are realizing this. We have to fight words with words, bombs with bombs, guns with guns. And that is the way it has to be. Think how many times Israel was pushed back and attacked by all of those around it, and every single fucking country around it has stated in its official broadcast that it wants to genocide Israel and kill them all. And we give them a free pass. We say, oh, they're not being serious. No, it's okay. They're not. They don't mean that. Every Muslim mosque that is built in a new city is a new centre of subversion, a new way to expand and infiltrate. It's PsyOps 101, and it works. You only have to see the amount of gullible people that are out there spouting these things without any knowledge of the background to it. Christianity sucks, it does. But long time ago, Christianity stopped trying to force its issues on its beliefs on everybody in the world. Muslim needs to hit that wall. Muslim needs to realise that the Islamic State needs to realise, yeah, you got your land, you're there, but you tried to fucking change us into you and we'll fuck you over. We've got bigger bombs than you. And even the media is complicit in the subversion completely. You can see how much airtime they give to Palestinian massacres and all that, and damage to Muslims and so on. And even the police are so fucking hesitant to call anything a race crime, to call anything. I mean, look at the problems we had with all these grooming gangs, and the data was always suppressed that most of them were Muslim, most of them were from these countries. And I've talked about it before, how this part of the subversion is this idea of grooming young girls in every country, getting them hooked into a group of Muslim men, getting them pregnant, and this increases the Muslim population. This is not conspiracy. This is not racist diatribe. This is just the truth of what's happening. And you can see every country where it's happening, where look at the way the BBC now refers to and is trying to separate Hamas political from Hamas terrorist. Oh, the terrorists are just these people over here. No, they're all the fucking same. It's scary. We are complicit in our own destruction. Freedom of speech should matter, but not freedom from responsibility for that speech. You've got to be aware, especially dealing with more media and AI and everything else, that the subversion is everywhere. It really is everywhere. Take care of yourself. This is Jason for the Queber channel.